Gotta be on track. Be on track.
Hi, everybody. It's been a
Hey.
while, but welcome to Take Up Space, where we empower you to reclaim your narrative, build community, and heal collectively. We are your hosts. I'm Lauren Boone.
And I am Joy T. Lawson, but this is all of our space. So please engage with us through the comments and please follow our page, our new page, Take Up Space Show on Instagram to stay connected with us, all that we're doing in the community and staying engaged in our segments. So,
Yes.
Lauren, girl, it's been
Cool
a
girl.
minute.
Hey, it's been a minute. How are you?
I am here. I think I can say that I'm here and taking everything day by day. I'm happy that we are at the verge of summer. Let's just say that. How are you
Thank you,
doing?
Lord. Thank you. I was okay around Saturday, but then yesterday, this bug got me, and I'm just like, ugh, I was dragging all day today at work.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I'm fine. I really can't complain. It's just, I'm like you, ready for summer, ready to have my mornings start slower, ready to have a slower routine, do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Yep,
So yeah, I'm looking forward to all of that.
I feel that. I
Yeah,
feel
and hey, everybody who's joining.
yes. Come on in.
Yes, before we let a little loose. You know what? I think people are still, I think we may have a lag. I don't know.
I think we do have a lag.
Okay. Let us know in the chat, though, everybody, where you are watching from or your name before we start to take up some space by letting loose. I guess we'll
Yes,
give
yes.
it like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely a lag.
Yeah. I think it's because of like our intro and outro.
Well, we're gonna wait for the folks to come on in, and
Yeah, we're
who's,
not gonna
who's here
rush.
will take up space with us. And if y'all watching this on the rerun, y'all can still take up space. So that's the beauty of technology.
And wait,
Well, we're gonna wait for the folks to come on.
let me. Yeah, we're gonna wait for y'all. In the meantime, in between time, y'all, I have this is gonna be a take up space exclusive because
Oh,
this is gonna
come on,
get
exclusive.
discounted. It's really not. It's just that it's my label is torn, so I'll give y'all $5 off this candle. If
Yes,
you want to
come
purchase a
on.
candle.
We love
This
it.
is one of my favorite or best-selling summer scents. It's a Ashe, what it's called Ashe, but it's a really citrusy, nice, fruity smell. If you're into that, it has citrus, mint, and eucalyptus. So if you want to purchase it, let me know. Um, Ashe, $20. It's
Hey.
usually 25. So if you want to, let me know. Um, but I think we have some people joining in. Hello, everybody. Thank you for taking up space with us today.
Come on in, come on in.
Yes, this is a space for all of us to claim whatever you want to claim, take up space on, release yourself up. We're going to jump into it though with some let loose. Joy, do you
Yes.
have a song? I still don't have a song, but go ahead.
So my song, I have been obsessed with it. It's Omima, I do believe, Chandler, um, from Maverick City, who's like always in things, but it is a 11-minute long song. And
Girl.
it's a vibe, okay? It is a full vibe. It got me to and from. It's now my plane song. But whenever I need some hype, the particular line that I love the most is it's not girl math, it's God math. Um, and then he goes into so glad you leave the 99, always for the one. It's like a great like Afro beat gospel song. Like it's super dope. And it has really been keeping me
Mm-hmm.
going. That and Blessing also by is that, why can't I not think? That's not what's his name in North Carolina?
Which I don't hear
Stephen
you line. Oh,
Furtick.
Yeah,
Elevation. Yeah, yeah.
Elevation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's their song, I do believe. That one also has been getting me through too. They have been speaking to my soul. In terms of, those are my like let loose songs, but my vent, I don't really know if I have much to vent about, except I have been like very disconnected. So when you are like disconnected and you come back to everything, why is there so much happening in the world and it is just so ghetto? Like that's truly where I
It's
am
so
right
much.
now. Like when you travel somewhere and you end up going out the country and you're like, why am I coming back here? We went to
Mm-hmm.
Canada, and Canada was beautiful. We went into Toronto and then went to Niagara Falls, and we decided to walk back across to the US just to see Niagara Falls from the US side. And the guy who was working the customs was just rude. And it's just like, this is the reminder of like where we're from. And then the same thing happened when we were at the Toronto airport and we got to customs on the American
Mm-hmm.
side. Like, why is everyone so angry here? Like this is the reason why people are looking at us like we're crazy and feeling bad for us, because the
Mm-hmm.
energy that we give off, if we're saying good morning or we're saying hello and we're coming to you polite. Like I walked up to the guy on the Niagara Falls side and he's like, oh, I'm so happy that you're an American. I'm tired of doing all these passports for all these other people. Well, hello, how
Like
are
they make your
you?
job,
Like,
right?
this is what you do. Meanwhile, on the Canadian side, he's like, hey, how you doing? Have a blessed day. Oh, yeah, y'all are staying. Like, this is what I mean. Treat people the way that they should be, that you would want to be treated. Like, why are you
Mm-hmm.
so angry and frustrated this early in the morning? And it honestly is just a reminder. I think I said when we got back on at the airport and went through American customs, like, back to America and this ghetto-ness that's happening here. But I have been removed. So seeing everything that has really been happening in the last 2 weeks, it honestly is embarrassing. That is my bent.
Mm-hmm.
It is embarrassing to be associated with things that are happening and hearing about ICE raids at elementary schools and people getting, not being able to, get back in the car with the parents that they were in the car with. Like I have, it's just unfortunate. That is my vent. That is,
Okay. I hear you though. It is so much happening that you can't possibly try to stay up to date with everything because you
yeah,
literally will go crazy, I think. But I again do not have a song. I feel like I have been really heavy into like audiobooks recently. So
yeah.
I've been reading Can't Get Enough by, everyone's reading this. Um, Ryan Kennedy. So I've been really listening to that like on my way home, at home. And so it's getting real juicy. I made a mistake and was listening to it today at work. I had my AirPod in, but I was like, oh, it was getting too juicy. I said, girl, you don't got no business listening to this book at work. So I was like, let me turn this off and do my notes. So that's been like helping me to kind of get through and just to like really mute a lot of things that are going
Yeah.
on in the world. Cause I'm like, ooh, child, it's just literally so much happening. To the point where I'm like, am I like not tuned in, or or am I tuned in to like what I need to be tuned in? It's just a lot. Like I didn't know
Yeah.
certain things were happening, like the show I like, Just Like That on
Mm.
HBO Max. I didn't know that came back out. Didn't know the
Mhm.
BET Awards was on a Monday instead of a Sunday. I'm like, has it always been on a Monday? Like I'm just
Really?
like, I'm tapped out. So it's tonight. The BET Awards is happening tonight.
Listen, over my
So right.
head.
Listen,
Over.
and I just found that out today or yesterday. But so that's been my let loose. My vent, start my 2 minutes. My vent
2 minutes started.
is, girl, today on the way home from work. I'm just like enjoying my little ride home and say, let me stop by Trader Joe's to get something. So I stopped by Trader Joe's, and then on my way out, I was like, okay, let me get some gas. I don't have to do it in the morning. And then I'm at this light, and you know how it's a red light, but it's also like when you're turning right, it's a green arrow. So
Yeah.
the main light is red, but for the lane that can turn right, it's green. So
Right.
I'm the second car, and the car in front of me is just like on his phone, scrolling. He doesn't see. that it's a green light. So I'm like bumping the horn. I bumped the horn once and I was like, okay. Then I did a doo doo. And then I said, beep, beep, beep. And so he speeds off, right? So he speeds off. He's in the left lane. I'm in the right lane, merging right again. And he comes all the way over to get in front of me. I said, okay, this is one of them. I said, he gonna play with me. And I felt it. So as I turn, he goes into the other lane again. So I get over into the right lane. He comes from the middle lane to the right lane. I said, let me just see. Because he might just try to be getting over. I said, I got back in the middle lane. Here he come real quick with, I mean, like to cut me off. I said, okay, I know what this is.
Ooh.
So I was like, I ain't ducking no smoke. Even though I was like, girl, people are really crazy out here.
They are crazy.
They are really crazy. And so I remember the movie, I forget what it's called, Road Rage or something. With what's his name? Robert Crow or something like that. It's a really crazy movie about road rage. So I was like, no. So I made some space in between us. I said, because somebody trying to slam the brakes. And so I was like, let me just slow down. So then we got to a red light and he gets over and I stay in my lane. So I just smiled and he smiled and he rolls his window down. So I rolled my window down and I said, did you get the attention you were looking for? And he was like, well, what was that about? And I was like, sir, you were distracted. So I beeped the horn. And yeah, he was like, he said something. I said, have a good day, sir. I rolled my window up and just was listening to something on my book. I was like, girl, whatever. I'm not listening to this. But I was like, people are crazy. So that's my let loose. I'm just like, I'm glad that I didn't rev up on him or say something crazy. I just like, did you get the attention you needed? Because that's what he literally went out of his way. Like you weren't even going in that direction. You went in that direction.
That's the 2 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry. But that's where I'm at today. People crazy.
Yeah, no. Thankfully, he was not really a crazy one because
that's true. I had no business rolling my window down.
That's why I say you up here rolling your window down. You risking your life. You risking your life.
I was just like, okay, let's go.
I understand. Respect. I will give you full credit for even engaging that far.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody else have any?
He got me.
Any events?
Sorry.
Any topics? Any other road rage situations?
Right.
It's a real thing. It is a real thing. People really try you on these good old DMV roads or wherever you are.
They really do.
They will try you. Anyone can drop in.
They really do.
Their let loose. Is there a favorite song that you all have right now? Maybe it's a show or is it a book? Just like Lauren was saying, something that it could be a podcast too. To throw one out. I've been listening to Michelle Obama and her brother's podcast. I think it's IMO, I believe is the name of it. Really good. Definitely suggest tuning into that. So yeah, if y'all have anything, drop in the comments. Again, this is not just Lauren and I's catch up session, although it definitely is because it's been
right. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. It's been a lot happening, but by the grace of God, we still here and able to take up space with y'all.
So talk to us.
What you got?
Well, if no one else has anything, I'll start with whatever we want to own today. Yes. This is just like a real, a go with the flow episode, you guys, since we are just coming back. Things, a lot of things have happened in the month of May, some good, some really sad. And so kind of just want to start on a high note. So this past May, obviously May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so my business, my ministry, which is a wellness ministry and brand, was able to host 2 events, particularly around the practice of wellness and what that looks like or could look like for our community. And so I was really grateful to have a space for free. Thank you, Jesus, a sponsored space to host those events. Excuse me. And it was phenomenal. Literally, I was so proud of myself for just doing it instead of thinking about the ins and outs. And I mean, I did a little bit, but getting hooked up, okay, nobody gonna come, letting that get in the way of me actually going through with it. I'm gonna cancel it because 13 people RSVP, but maybe only 5 gonna show up. That negative self-talk, really allowing myself to get out of that space and really talking to myself helped a bit. But I was just really blown away by how like God just showed up and was like, see, like I told you, like everything will be okay. Just do what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do, and I'm gonna do the other part. And it was really good, intentional, joyful spaces that we created for both of those events. And looking forward to doing more. Not this week, but in the next 2 weeks, we'll have another event, and I'm looking forward to doing that. So, if y'all in the DMV, Baltimore area specifically,
Hold
tap
up.
in, girl. Some Wednesdays, we may do some Saturday events too, but right now we're focusing on like Wellness Wednesday, like kind of breaking up the week for everyone. So there'll be more opportunities for y'all to engage if you would like to.
Yes, Lauren's been killing it. Like I've been watching, and it's been beautiful to be able to see the wellness that she's sharing, and everything that she's doing in her ministry, because she's gifted in everything that she touches.
Thank you, sis.
It flows through her. So please make sure you all support her, in the events, the candles, it all. Like she does it all. Love well is a lifestyle. So you definitely want to love well, be well, and all that you are doing. Um,
Thank you.
let's see. Owning, Lord have mercy. Owning, I am owning being able to adjust to tough seasons. I will say that is my owning. As Lauren was saying, there's been a lot of ups, there's been a lot of downs, been a lot of different things that have happened. Just like I think since the end of April, it's been so much. But my grandfather passed away May 15th, and it was a heavy one. It was one of those things where it stops you in your tracks. And when you know something is happening, it still does not prepare you for what's on the other end. Because I feel like I have been mentally preparing for quite a long time for the transition because, grandparents, we love them, but it comes a time where they can't be here any longer. It sucks, but it is a reality. And I feel like I was prepared. But my owning is really sitting in the what do you do afterwards? What is after you've prepared for so long? On the other end, because you get yourself to a point and then you're like, okay, I know what to expect. Like this time is going to happen. And then it's the then what. I am functioning heavily in the then what. Like, what now? You probably have heard me share before, just anyone that's tuned in for a while. Like, I've been heavy in the caregiving for my grandfather for not just this year but years, and it is different. It feels like something is missing. It feels like there's a hole, like I have empty time, and I'm really trying to figure out what that looks like, because the day-to-day of calling, cooking meals, and seeing what's going on, and going over there, scheduling out who's, going to be there, on top of, I think I also shared, like my mom had fell and had a surgery at the beginning of the year. And it was a lot of me stepping up to be a part of making sure that everything flows properly. And it's easy to step up and have strength in that, but then it's like when you actually have to sit in it, down to getting through the funeral. I had to pass by seeing my students graduate, because the graduation was actually the same day as the funeral, and that like broke me extra, because I'm like, you want to see them, hit this milestone and be a part of it. But there's also strength in grief that I am also realizing too, which I'm owning as well, because I've somehow found strength the next day to end up going the day after he ended up passing, to go give the certificates to the girls. And it was really sitting in that I know he would want me to finish what I accomplished. And the main thing that my grandfather always was, he lived a full life. He was 94 and a half years. He lived a abundant life, as I shared in my remarks at the funeral, but he wants you to live a good life. So I am truly owning processing my grief, realizing where I am, but also utilizing that to pour back into how am I going to follow in his footsteps and live an abundant life as well, and live a full life and not stay in this sadness. And I understand that you have to process everything, but really being able to work through it in the right way, so that eventually all those sad things of reminders turn into something positive. Like even with me being at Niagara Falls, one thing I did end up going ziplining, and my grandparents love Niagara Falls. They went on the U.S. side, I was staying in the Canadian side, but it really hit me while I was like in the air, like, oh my gosh, like this is what they love to do, and I'm sitting here doing something that he probably would have been like, what are you crazy for ziplining? But it's sitting in that live your life. I want you to be able to enjoy your life and sharing these memories and create these memories where like you're in the right. So I am owning all of that. And as tough as the season has been, I know there's something on the other side of this that is going to be much better, much brighter. And it's what we've been praying for. So I'm really trying to lean into the fact that the storm will pass. Joy comes in the morning. It's funny because another song that came to mind earlier, Kirk Franklin, It's Over Now, has it's over
Yeah.
now. I feel like I could make it. The storm is over now. That one really has been, I feel like I'm still in the middle of it, but I have some time, and I'm not going to be in it for forever. It's just again adjusting to like what this looks like. And I really do wish that people talked about grief more and how you process grief, in all honesty, because I think that it would make it easier for when you do get hit with the situation, prepared or not prepared. Like, you know that you're not alone. And so when you get the question of people being like, how are you? Like, you don't have to be like, I'm all right. Like, when
Yes. I
in
just talked about
reality,
that earlier.
you're not all right. So my answer truly has been, I'm here. Like, the best that I can do is be here. The best that I can do is, admit that I'm just here. Because it's different, but 1% better each day is the goal. So that is truly what I'm owning. And there's definitely have been beautiful things through this too. I'll share a story for Lauren knows that we're both very churchy girls. So it's like you see the silver lining in a lot of different things. The night that he actually ended up passing, I saw him the night before. And you wonder why some different things happen. I went in, he wasn't really talking as much in his like last few weeks, so we knew that he was transitioning. And I couldn't find my phone. I had walked out, I already said like, see you later, I'll see you next time. And like he acknowledged like with a head nod, but I went back in and could not find my phone. And I'm calling my phone, and my phone dropped in his room. You normally hear a phone fall out your pocket. Somehow I did not feel it, and it dropped next to his bed. And when I went back in there, he actually was like himself, and I was able to get a I love you one last time. So that was like,
That's
things happen
beautiful.
for, and like my phone was meant to drop next to him, so I was able to get like a I love you and eye contact from him. And then I left that Wednesday, and he passed on Thursday. And then while I was there that Wednesday, it was a plant in my grandparents' dining room that there was nothing there. We went back on Thursday after he passed, and there were 2 lilies fully bloomed. And it's like, I say this all to say, yes, we want them here forever. There, people come and they go, but understand that they are always going to be with you. And I think that's the thing, the piece that has really comforted me during this season, is to know that there's truly a spiritual realm where they see everything. They are consistently with you, and you don't have to be worried about where they're going, because they are happy. He is happy. That man is partying up there, reunited with the love of his life, my twin. And I think that's the beauty that I've just been able to sit in, that where we are and what we do in life here, it speaks to, what God intended for us to do, what He wanted us to touch. But the real life is once we live, like once we leave here and where we're going. So I've been able to find bright moments in it all. And that's one of my faves that I sit back and think, that flower, that thing was dead the day before.
I'm about to say that's amazing. They just want y'all to see, baby, we okay.
Two of them, not
Two
just
of them,
one.
right? They
It was
together
2 of them.
again.
They together. It was 2 of them. So those lilies came back, and it was like, all right, We see y'all with us. We good. So yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
all of my
That's
owning.
beautiful. That's beautiful. You said so much. One, like, what a way to like honor your granddad. I know y'all probably had your Canada trip planned ahead of time prior to his transition, but like, still to be able to have that connection to like to their a piece of their joy and what they enjoy doing, and for you to experience a new type of enjoyment like through zip lining and all that kind of stuff. I think that was a great way to like honor him, even not knowing. So that's great. And then like I already know like you were heavy in caregiving. I know that you had spent a lot of time and it was stressful, but just like you said, everything happens for a reason. Like it was meant for you to spend that amount of time with your grandfather and like really probably honor and cherish those moments, because like now it's easier, or hopefully it will be easier to like process his transition, like, and to really see how he lived his life and how full of a life he had. And so like I think God always gives us, I don't want to say like, I don't want to say trials, but he puts us in situations so that we can see
Yeah.
how strong we really are, and to notice to appreciate really what life is about. And it is about life and being in partnership and being there to console someone and just having that presence there with someone. So like thinking about you going back in and getting your phone, and you left and he said nothing, but yet you came back in, he felt your presence enter the room and said, I love you, right? Like all of that matters, especially when you're thinking about processing his life and his death even. It's like
Yeah.
all that's going to be helpful for you. Even like right now, like you're processing in a way about his
Take it.
grief. And yeah.
Yeah, you got to take up space and you have to release it. And I think even through this, if anyone has gone through, or I've been extremely close, he's my last grandparent and the one that I was like the closest with, and the one that I was always nervous about losing. But it
Ooh,
took me
girl,
some
you on
time
my street.
to prepare. So I'm like, God will deliver exactly what you ask for. I will just say that, because I've been
Mhm.
praying for 2 years leading up to this for God to give me the strength for whenever this time happened. And I got signs, I had dreams. My grandmother was talking to me in different dreams and really allowing for me to be in a position where it was like, okay, like it's going to happen, like you're going to be good. And you, to your point, you find different strengths,
Yeah.
because I didn't I remember saying, when people were like, oh my gosh, like you're so close to your grandfather, or why haven't y'all moved to North Carolina yet? As long as my grandfather's here, I'm here. Like, like that's always how it's been. And I didn't know how it would be when the time happened, when he transitioned, because I thought I was going to be stuck. But
Yeah.
I found this different level of strength where pushing forward, being the, bigger person, and stepping up and doing so much more than I expected to through the transition, making sure my parents were good, like taking on just different tasks with the funeral arrangements. And I ended up setting up the repast, and we
It
decided
was
to do.
beautiful.
Thank you. We decided to do like a whole museum dedicated to his life, again, an abundant life. And it was a lot. And I wanted to make sure that it was perfect. And I kept saying, I felt like this was the last thing that I could really do for him physically. But then I had to remind myself that's not true, because
Mhm.
the it's going to be ongoing daily. Me living my life is what I can do for him each
Mhm.
day, is making sure that I'm doing exactly what he paved the way for. And we sit here and think about all our different ancestors. They don't want us to stop fighting. They don't want us to stop working. They don't want us to stop evolving. They want us to keep going, because they sacrifice their lives. They sacrifice time. They sacrifice money. They sacrifice all these different things for us to be at this point. So we can't stop within the grief. We have to be able to
Yeah.
going through it. We can have sad moments, because I don't want people to think like you can't grieve or you can't cry, because Lord knows I have definitely done that. But you have to be able to just keep going through it and remember the why. And I think for him and our, like, just any family member, ancestors, they always focused on the why. And it's a lot easier for us sometimes to forget that, because we have better lives than they did. Like, we didn't go through as many adversities. So sometimes it's easy for us to be like, yeah, nah, that's too much. Instead of just like sticking through it. So I have learned a lot about myself, truly, through this whole
Good.
entire process. And I know that in a few months, it's going to be a different situation. And I'm excited to see what is on the other end, because God will not give you more than you can bear. So sitting in that.
I hear you, girl. And I'm glad you had that experience with him saying, I love you. Because I remember that brought me back to when my paternal grandmother passed away. I was 15. I think I had just turned 15. And she had Alzheimer's. So she didn't know, like, hadn't said our name. She hadn't said our names in maybe like a year or two at this point. And we went to see her the day before she passed away too. And by the time we had all got up to leave, it was like she was in a nursing home. We were at a table. I'll never forget this. We was in like the little diner room. She was at a square table. Me, my sister, and my dad got up, and she was like, "Okay, I love you." She said my dad's name, my mom's name, my name, and my sister's name. Girl, we were all in tears because it was like, what? But I think on the ride home, everyone was silent because I think everyone knew, like, okay, this must be that burst, because they told us like
The energy,
that burst of energy, and then they're gone. So like that morning, we woke up to a call that she was gone. I'm just like, I felt so much at peace. Like I went to school the next day because I'm like, my grandma said my name and she said she loved me. Like that's all I needed.
yeah.
But then when we start preparing for that funeral and stuff, as a teen, I'm like, I shut down. I didn't talk to nobody. I remember my grandma, who I call Baz, my mom's mom. She was like really trying to. She was there for me, really trying to get me to talk, and I just didn't want to. I'm just like, like just like leave me alone kind of thing. But I'm also so glad, like, because you said this is your only living grandparent. I too only have one living grandparent alive, and I cherish so much the time I be spending. Even if it's just like I'm going over there after church one day and I'm sitting with her on the couch and we're talking, like that is cherished time to me. I remember, like you said, praying about stuff. It's like when I was living in New York, I said, God, if you take me anywhere, just make sure I'm closer to home. Like if my grandma's getting older, I want to spend as much time with her, because I had moved to Atlanta when I was a teenager. So like I missed some of that time with her, and I'm like, I want to be close to her. And so God did. And since 2016, I've been, spending more and more time with her. And I'm just so grateful to God for that time, because like you said, it's so precious. And we really can take that for granted if we just let the years go by and don't really make time for the people who really matter. So
them Sunday visits, those are the cherished moments, I will say.
Those are the cherished moments.
Those are the cherished moments. That was my favorite time of I was like, should I say it? Because some people be watching, but he would leave church early because he didn't feel like going to and dealing with people sometimes. So I would like be his escort out, and we would walk down the alley, and we had a tradition, the Sunday brunch thing. You know how it became very popular like in the DMV, but like the family table where you ate and where you talked, that was such a big deal for him. It was, you go to church, you eat, and I love that about the Black family. Like you find Sunday dinner or a Sunday brunch, but it really was like that breakfast time, and we would cook together, and I'd be over there for hours, take the nap. And I know you take naps at your grandmother's house too.
Girl, we'll go on that couch and be knocked out.
It's a comfort. It's something that's just so peaceful about it. So those are definitely cherished moments, and again, memories that will just be able to carry on and make you laugh and smile no matter how old you are. So it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Yeah. All right, y'all, talk to us. We've been talking. Have y'all had any experiences of like grief lately, or how have you processed your grief? Or just your relationships with your grandparents too. How have you
Could be grandparents, aunts, uncles. Somebody that's a big role like within your life. Or I'll even say, like, some people don't have to just grieve people. You can be grieving situations. You can be grieving job transitions. We are at a time where summer comes along, and that could be very different. We are in a very different climate right now for the economy. So I know there are unfortunately a lot of people losing their jobs. You could be grieving what's happening, again, as we were talking about this ghetto experience that we living in right now. Like that is also a grieving process. So how would you all
Corey says, so relatable. Thank y'all for sharing. Of course. Hey, Corey.
Hey, Corey. Anytime.
Corey came to one of the events.
Oh, yay. He had a wellness experience.
Had a good time. Yeah, it's wild. Getting older is wild. Like getting older and then watching everyone else get older is something. It really is something.
It hits different. Okay, like Very different. But it's like we are those adults now that
We
are
are.
having to step up and do things, and as awkward as it is, it's like I guess it makes sense. Like
Mhm.
age wise, I guess we are here, but it just it doesn't feel right sometimes.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't feel time. He said great time, have to prioritize our wellness. I hear
We
that.
do. We do. We
I hear that.
do.
I think to Corey's point of, and as you've been saying within just with the events that you've been doing in May and prioritizing wellness. For me, I know summertime is also a time where when we out of school, so I reflect on how the year's been. I reflect on how what I want to accomplish over the summertime before having to like go back, and I'm really digging into that deep this year. Just with my wellness and making sure that I'm processing. I have been active a lot more because Niagara, Canada will have you walking. Okay.
I love
I
it. Yeah.
got, what was it, last Friday, I got 21,000 steps. And that wasn't even
Oh,
a full day. Like that
love
probably was
it.
from like 10 to like 9, like 10 a.m. to 9, or maybe not even that. It could have been like 8. But I was like, I came back and was like, I got to keep moving. Like, I got
I
to keep
love
moving.
it.
And I feel like this is something, again, that's, when you lose something, you find some way to like replace it. And I feel like this is just my time to really focus on wellness and health right now. Um,
Yeah.
and figure out how I can be the best version of myself so I can live the full life and the abundant life.
Listen, I feel you on that. I just did my open enrollment because I'm like, I need a dietitian. I need to get this weight up off me. I need to figure out what I need to be eating for my blood type, my height, my weight. I need all that. Girl, I got to get this weight up off me.
That blood type is serious.
It is.
Have you looked into your own blood type yet?
I have. I'm O.
I
So
think we're
that's
the
very.
same. I think we
Oh,
are the same.
wow.
I'm O.
Look at
Yeah.
us. Down to the blood, girl. Down to the
Yeah,
blood.
I'm pretty positive. I'm like, I believe, because I just looked at it
Oh.
recently. I believe I am O. And I want to look into that this summer too, because I wonder sometimes,
Mhm.
like even with my allergies, like
Mhm.
was I always supposed to be this way, or did it just happen like that?
True, true, true. Let me see. Corey said, it's crazy how loss of life will remind you how precious it really is.
Mhm.
Seize every moment with those you love. Very true. Very, very true.
Yeah, and
Like
even
I've
for
been,
people, as you said, like it's precious time, but it could be for people that lose someone suddenly too. Like
hmm
that's
hmm
that's really where
hmm
you reminder.
baby, and you don't want no regrets. Like that's my thing. I've been planning. So I need next in line is my grandma and my mom, but like family dates or like friend
Mm.
dates. So my dad and I had one in January. Me and my sister just had one in May. My cousins and I had one in March. So like my mom, my grandma on deck. Just like making sure I date my people. That's my thing this year. Date
Yes.
your people. Don't matter who it is, family, friend, whoever, date your people. Because it matters. Like, right, it matters when you're thinking about community, when you're thinking
Yeah.
about your social well-being, all that matters. And so I'm really trying to tap into that a lot this year. I think I've been doing pretty good.
You have, because you've been talking about it for a long time, and like how you
Mm-hmm.
showing up and doing it, and
Yep. So me and my
kudos.
sister went and got permanent bracelets.
How was that
Yeah.
experience?
Oh,
You
I
went to the one in
loved it.
Baltimore?
Mm-hmm. Charm City links. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Really
want to
nice.
go.
It's really nice. They give you champagne. It's a really nice, like curated experience. So definitely, let me know if you want to go because I'm trying to get me a stack, girl.
I
So
want to get an anklet.
mhm.
So if we can definitely arrange that, that could be our friend date just
I could
to go back.
all right. Well, since y'all talking to us, I guess. So we're gonna transition into take up space or not. We're gonna get
Take
vibey.
up space or no? We need like a
Um,
theme song for that.
I know. All right, where we starting?
All right, so take up space or not. If you are new, here's how it goes. In this game, we decide if something that happened in the culture was an act of take up space or not, it being nah. And for the purpose of this game, we're defining take up space as showing up as your whole self, saying it with no explanation needed, and owning your voice, truth, and heart's desire. So, first up, take up space or nah with Beyonce's cowboy trend, with how everyone is buying up anything and everything cowboy related?
I think that's taking up space. I like it. Listen, I put my cowboy boots back in October. I'm still wearing them. I'll be wearing them for rain boots. Erica be like, girl, them is not rain boots. I'm like, I don't care. I love my rain boots. So I'm gonna say, my cowboy boots. I'm gonna say take up space. I love it. I love how we're reclaiming that part of our culture. I love how people are really like tapping into it. I love the Boots on the Ground song, how that's very country. I don't know if you've seen that video, but it's very much so
I think I
Black
saw.
country vibes, HBCU
Yeah.
vibes, Black Greek letter organization vibes. It's like just very nice. I love how
Oh,
we're just reclaiming our countryside. Now some people have made it very high fashion, and that's them. You know, you got someone to do what you do. But I love how people are like reclaiming that part of our history.
yeah, I would definitely agree. And I love the fact that she is putting people on, because a lot of country stores are a lot of like small businesses that have
Mhm.
hats and belts and different things. Like she is putting them on, and I love that for
Yeah.
them, because if you're not in Texas or in specific areas, it might not be something that's popular. But who says you
Mhm.
can't be a cowboy in DC? I'm sure there's
Okay.
stores, and
There are
now
city cowboys.
it's coming
Philadelphia has
back
a
to life.
whole community.
So I do
Hmm.
believe that she is taking up space. I will say yes.
Yes, I do too. Okay, Hamilton Tony's reunion. So this is the stage play, right?
Yep, this is the stage play.
Okay.
With It was their 10-year
Oh
reunion,
my gosh, it's
and
been 10 years.
10 years original cast. It was the original cast that came back together. I will say taking up space because of the fact that they knew the impact that Hamilton had on theater, and
Mhm.
they wanted to make sure that they brought back the original cast to pay homage to them because of the fact of how it really did transform. Like I remember when it first went on Netflix, and people were like, or no, was it Disney?
It would
I think
get Disney because it was so
Disney.
long.
Yeah, they released it on Disney, and how people were flying to Disney to actually like look at it, and a lot of people that didn't like musicals actually liked Hamilton. And
Yeah.
to think, if you're like super, and if anyone's super into theater and Broadway, to know that I think the first song got developed in like 2008, but
Mm.
2008 to 2015 is a long gap of like
Right.
it blew up in 2015, and 10 years later they killed it on the did you end up seeing the
I did see. I saw when it came to Baltimore.
who
So,
did you watch them last night?
I did not watch it last night, girl. No, I told you I was
Yeah,
in bed.
you
Child.
did say that because you wasn't feeling well. It was a abbreviated version of it, but you got to see even the people and how that show specifically put them on the map and like where they are. But they still came back and a part of the original cast in like the lower roles to do their part, and I respect it.
Mhm.
So I will for that alone, I will say kudos to them bringing them back in the original cast with the climate that we're in right now as well, because I feel like
Yeah.
that's the fun of it all, is that this is very timely with
Mhm.
what they're
Mhm.
talking about in Hamilton.
Very timely. Also, shout out to I forget the name of the show, but Brandon Jacobs, I think he's a DMV playwright. They
Mm,
won the Tony last night too. So shout
they
out
did. Was
to
that for did it start with a P?
yeah,
Um,
something with a P, not precious.
it
It's
wasn't
something with P, purpose. Purpose. I
Purpose.
think it's
That was
purpose.
the
Yeah, yeah,
I
purpose.
do believe it's Purpose too, because that's what Felicia Rashad
Mm-hmm.
is in that
Mm-hmm.
one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So shout out to them.
Come on, Tony's coming through.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, we have Miss Coco Golf winning, as
The French
well as
Open. Go ahead,
on,
girl.
on the French Open. What is she, the second? Because Serena won it.
American. Mm-hmm. Black
Yes.
American. Well, she just the
Like,
second American period.
yeah, she's second American period. To end up winning, but as well as the response that she ended up giving back to her competitor after the competitor's response. I don't
Okay,
even know
now
that.
I saw the competitor. I saw her. I saw the sore loser because girl, you too old to be acting like that. I saw what she said, but what did Coco say in response?
I mean, Coco was really just like, you know, I'm sorry that she feels that way. Like she's very polite with it.
Clock
Like
that.
she's very polite with how she says things. And even her speech after she got the award and she's turning to her and saying, you know, congratulations on, you know, making it this far. Like it was a really tough game. And I appreciate, like, she didn't even have to acknowledge her. Like I would have been, you know, thank you
You
for a
mad?
great match.
They mad.
Pushing, but Coco Golf she's a class act. And the fact that that lady sat up there and said the errors that I did is the only reason that she ended up winning the game. In the what did she say? The environment.
Right. She said it was she didn't beat me because she was better or something like that. She beat me because of the mistake I made. Like, girl, if that's not racism, covert racism in prime time, like what it is? Like you're mad that a young black girl beat you. Take your L and go on somewhere. Give her props. Like I can't stand it. You too old to be complaining about some mistakes you made. Oh, and then she said something about the sand or whatever. That like, girl, you're used to it. That's your home turf. Aren't you French? Let me stop. I don't really know this lady. I don't know this lady for real.
Another bit.
Right. Like, so yes, I would say Coco took up space in her response because you're mad, stay mad. I just won my first French Open. I'm about to celebrate. I'm not gonna let you tear me down.
Yeah. She did that. She did that.
Yeah. All right. Tim's body clapback. First of all, anybody in the chat? What y'all?
I just checked. I didn't see
okay. I don't even
any action.
Okay. No action today. So Tim's body shaming clapback. So some people got on Twitter and said, or wherever they were on Threads, Twitter, Instagram, and said what she only had hips or something from the front or butt from the front, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And her response was, it's gonna be something. It's either this, that, or whatever. Like y'all, I can't. It's my body. Took up space.
She completely did. And then I think somebody ended up saying, like, y'all don't even know what a real body looks like. Y'all are accustomed to all these BBLs. Like, okay. I mean, Tim is a full woman. Okay. Tim's is a full body woman. Like, y'all, like, what are we doing? And with a real body, you go up in weight, you go down in weight.
Exactly. Like, and you don't know where the weight gonna go. It go where it go. She said, move on from my bum. Your bum. I added that part, but she said, move on from my bum. She said, move on from my bum.
Yeah, no,
but
definitely.
Talk about her assets like that. Like, people ain't got nothing else better to do.
Not at all. So we still nothing in the Chizzy chat. Moving on, the Big Ten College Compact against Trump. That is all the Big Ten. There's not all Big Ten, but there are a lot of Big Ten colleges coming together to block any defunding that is happening. So if University of Maryland was in there, Michigan was in there, Ohio State was in there, UCLA or some other schools. If UCLA was to get their funding revoked, government funding revoked, the schools all promised to go in and get their lawyers involved, help with funding, make sure that things are covered. I am going to say take up space because they are realizing that it is power in numbers and what's happening is wrong. So I think that this is a model that definitely should continue. I will just say that.
I was gonna say HBCUs tap in, but yeah, I would say take up space too. Hopefully they can get it pushed through. I know that they are just like strategizing right now and getting people to sign petitions and stuff. But like hopefully it can happen because that would be the smart thing to do. And I just give them take up space because they strategizing like, all right, they say, okay, this is what we up against. What can we do?
Yep.
So shout out to them.
Yep. Any movement. Y'all feel free to tap in whenever. If there's something else, y'all also have to.
Anything that catches your eye. All right, so this might be just me and you talking. So okay. Softball, the World Series between Texas Tech and Texas.
Yeah,
really good series. I was kind of blown away by, the first inning, bro. Like the top of the first five runs. Are you serious?
They didn't come to play. They did not
I
come to
was
play,
like,
Lauren. I
what?
was in Canada. You should have saw. First of all, ESPN is blocked in Canada, and then the NBA finals were on. So they were taking up the
Oh, it's hard to
statement
be
that the
fine.
World Series would have been on. Cam was up here hunting on YouTube for me to find a live stream link.
Oh, shout out to
And he
him.
found it, and Husband found it, okay, because he knows what softball means to me.
Mm-hmm.
That was a beautiful series, and it all started when Oklahoma got kicked out.
Oh yeah,
I am a
Oklahoma.
big
They thought they was about to have
they
a
about
five.
five peat. They
Maybe
thought they was about
no,
to have
no
a
five
five peat.
feet.
The way that I screamed, my neighbors probably were like, "What is going on?" But
Yeah,
it needed to happen.
yeah, they had
Okay,
to get
it
out there.
needed to happen, and I am just, you give other people opportunities, but Texas and Texas Tech, Mia Scott and our girl
Mia Scott did her thing. I'm sorry, I was going for Texas Tech, but just seeing Mia Scott like hold down third base like that and even
a
cover
wall,
shortstop a little bit,
a
baby,
wall,
she said, "No, ma'am, not getting past me." With
a
one, she
wall,
already had a torn ACL.
a wall. I am. It was a great
I said
series.
she
It
deserved
was a
that.
great
Yeah,
series.
did she get
Um,
MVP? Do you know?
I think she did. I
Because
think
she
she
did
did.
that.
I know she's a senior that deserved it, and she's
Mm-hmm.
been here before in the World Series and didn't end up making it. So I did want Texas Tech to take it
Me too.
because they're the underdogs and because it's a black pitcher. But at the end of the day, I will give Texas Tech credit. I will give Najee credit for getting to this point, for her transferring from Stanford, and the amount of money. What was it? 14.3
Million.
million that she ended up going over there, and she did what needed to get done. Okay, they have not been
They can't
there
say that black
ever.
woman ain't on her check.
She earned every bit of it, and she's a junior. She still has room. Mia
I love
Scott
it.
held it down for the seniors and collected a ring before she rolled out.
I
So
love it. I'll be tapped into Texas Tech next year because I'm a UCLA girly, but I can make room
yeah.
for somebody else.
Oh, that we got to talk offline because that UCLA game, the
Mm-hmm.
call that, and I was furious,
Girl,
furious.
I'm happy about what the outcome was.
Yeah, of course.
Series, like,
It needed to happen, but man,
yeah.
oh man, during that. Yeah. Softball
Okay,
World Series.
sorry.
If y'all want to talk about softball, y'all know who to talk to.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna round it out on this unless someone else has something to say. I know we haven't talked about the Diddy stuff. I don't necessarily want to talk about the Diddy stuff, but I will say this. I'm glad Cassie took the stand in her real name, said what she had to say. Hope her baby's okay. I think she gave
Yeah.
birth, but they said it was like some type of complication. I don't
Yeah.
know if it was just
Yeah.
a rumor or not, but I really do pray that her baby is okay. And that she has some type of peace with whatever. I hope you don't get a mistrial. Sorry. Okay. Do you want to talk about Diddy? I don't want to talk about Diddy.
I was like, I don't care to. I mean, everybody,
Okay.
I don't care to give him the necessary attention. But we can move on to the
No.
last.
Yeah, let's move on.
Tiana Taylor and Aaron Pierre. That's Mufasa.
I love it. I love it. Her and Cardi B done bounced back, honey. Hopefully they're happy. That's what matters. And they feel safe in their relationship.
It
But
was the foot pop for me when
mm-hmm.
I said, oh, okay, when you in
that
free fall, like you just be doing anything. And
I said, oh baby, he got her making music again. Okay, Aaron. Okay, we see you. So that
what's the age? I didn't realize the age gap.
Yeah, so I think she's 33, he's 31.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. I thought she was
not bad. Let me see. How old is
she
she?
just turned 31. That's not bad whatsoever.
Oh, she's 34, but yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. For some reason, I didn't know. I thought she was like 35, 36, but it's still a good range. They can have fun. I mean, the shape that she's in, she looked like she's 20 something, so it's fine.
Okay, they'd be just fine, I'm sure, the both. But I'm like, okay, girl, I see you, her and Cardi B. So
yeah, oh yeah, Cardi out here with what's Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. I said, okay, excuse me. I did it again. I didn't ask a prayer request at the beginning of the show, but for those of you who are still on, if you have a prayer request, you can drop them below. Aaron P. Yeah, that's Mufasa.
That's fucking hit.
Yeah, it will. Just like I always wanted a brother.
Yeah.
I recently
That.
just saw that movie too. It was good. The new
Yep. Any
Lion
prayer requests, go ahead and drop it in the chat.
Because if not, we will see y'all in 2 weeks.
Yes, yes, yes. And to be exact, that's the 23rd.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
23rd. All right. I don't think we got any prayer requests, Lauren.
Yeah, I don't see none on my end either. Well, we just gonna say this. We hope y'all be blessed. Stay
Yes.
blessed wherever y'all at. And you're coming and you're going.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, y'all
Until next
continue
time.
to take up space. Love well, be well, and we will see y'all on the
Yeah.
23rd.
Later.